Alright class, so we're looking at assignment 3.3 today, understanding the prompt, which may sound a little silly. How can you not understand the prompt? But often students do not read the prompt carefully and jump right into writing, and that can often steer student essays off course. So here are some tips that I'd like to look at to kind of help you through the prompt when you're given an essay topic. Of course, if this is an in-class essay, you have to do this very quickly. And if it's a take-home, you have time and you can ask the teacher follow-up questions if you have any confusion about what's being asked of you. So the first thing is to kind of look for some keywords in the prompt. So I gave you this handout with some key definitions to recognize. So you know what analysis is, to argue, assess. That may be different from compare or contrast. Examine, explore. I would look through these and make sure you understand exactly what they mean. And for the most part, these are the terms that are going to show up in an analytic writing prompt. But I would circle those words and make sure it's clear that you know what is being asked of you. Rephrase the prompt for yourself to simplify. Sometimes the prompts can be quite long and complicated, but if you circle the key words and just write a little bullet point to yourself and make it simpler for yourself, that may be helpful. Like I said, if you do not know a term, ask the instructor. But it does not hurt to ask your teacher for clarification on one of those terms. The length, obviously if it's a research paper and it's 8 pages long, that's going to be a very different prompt from a 45-minute in-class essay. So expectations are important. Okay, know your purpose. So to analyze is to show that you understand the text and can break it down and make an argument, be a good, clear, logical writer. If you're persuading, then you need to understand who the reader is and show that you are able to understand multiple perspectives of a complex issue and make a case. And considering who will be reading this, your essay may inform your argument. And that kind of leads to number 8. Who is your audience? If it's your English teacher, for instance, you can assume they've read the book, so you don't need to retell the entire plot, for instance. So look through these tips. I think they'll be helpful. If you look at just the SAT, again, the beginning here is some of the key terms that I might look look at are consider. So in other words, they are asking you to focus in on these things that the author is doing. Facts are examples. So in other words, the show or the evidence to support claim, to look at whether they make a connection between claim and evidence, whether their reasoning or logic makes sense, and to look at their persuasive elements, word choice, and then they're really pointing you to those things as what you should be analyzing or breaking down. So I, as reading, would be on the side of the text, reminding myself that I am looking for facts to support claims, right? What are the claims and what can be supported? What's the logic? And how are they kind of appealing to us as an audience? What words are they using to be persuasive? And we are being asked to analyze, explain how he builds this argument. In other words, analyze. So that's the SAT. For example, again, it's kind of a long prompt with a lot of those keywords, so that's why it's important to break it down for yourself. And the same thing with the ACT, but a different type of essay. So they want you to evaluate multiple perspectives on an issue. So evaluate means to judge whether they're valid or not, based on your understanding of the position. So you need to understand the position, but also judge the validity of it, probably based on its logic, reasoning, if there is any evidence that can support that claim. Having familiarized yourself with the different perspectives, then they want you to state your own perspective on it. And then the third major part is, like being part of a conversation with 3 other people, you've made your argument, but how can you sort of incorporate what the others have said? So you may disagree with one point, you may agree with the other 2 and use those other 2 as supporting evidence, or you may do something sort of in between. But they want to see all 3 of these things or elements in your essay. So, given the accelerating variety and prevalence of intelligent machines, it's worth examining the implications and meanings of their presence in our lives. So I would look at, or circle this word, examine the implications and meanings of their presence in our lives. And then these are the 3 perspectives. So really take some time to try these steps out. It may seem difficult at first, but try it and practice it. And the more you do it, I think it will help you in the long run. Okay, good luck.